This video will show you how to do library research to complete essays in Professor McKinney's Comp 2 class. The first thing you'll do is log into Atlas and click on the Courses tab. Once that opens, you're looking for the Libraries box on the right side of the page, and you'll click Search the Library. Once the page loads, you'll see the library catalog, and this search is used to find books, DVDs, ebooks, and electronic videos. You'll essentially search for anything except for articles from here. Start out by clicking on the advanced search. Now we can enter our keywords. You'll use the catalog to find books of critical essays about your author and their writings. So you'll always include a keyword of your author's name. So in this case, I will put in Judith Ortiz Kofer. Now if I just search my author's name, I'm going to get things written by them and about them, but I want things written about them and their works. So I'm going to add a second keyword of criticism, and that should help me get information just about the author instead of things they've also written. Before I search, I'm going to change my campus, so I just searched the Osceola Library. And I'll also look at the material type. I'm going to pick Omit Articles, so I'll get a mix of books and ebooks. When I search for articles, I'm going to do a separate database search. So I'll get rid of the articles for now, and click Search. From here, I got 19 results. That's a pretty good number, but if you get a large amount, you can use some of the limiters on the left-hand side of the page to narrow that number down. You can pick a specific format, a different topic, change the publication date, or look on other campuses down below. So I'm going to look through my search results to find something that's interesting. When you find a book result, and you'll know because it tells you what kind of item it is under the picture, the first thing you'll do is click the Details tab. Sometimes this will give you a summary or table of contents about the item, so you can learn a little bit more about it before you check it out. Once you look at the details, you'll click Locations. This will show you what campuses have the book and if it's available. So I can see that Osceola is the only campus that has the book, and it's in red, so I know that it's already checked out. If I want to, I can put a hold on the book and wait for the person to return it. If that date doesn't work for me, I can move on and find a new book. If I click on the locations of the second book, I can see that Osceola campus has a copy and it's available. My next step then would be to write down the call number for the book. This is how I'll find it on the shelf. You also have the ability to borrow books from the other Valencia campuses or other state colleges in Florida and have the item sent to Osceola for free. If you want to do that, you can click the Request Item tab and then pick Interlibrary Loan and fill out the form. So that's how you can find books. If you're interested in an ebook, all you have to do is click the link that says View Online. This will open a scan of the ebook for you to view. So you just click the Read Online button here on the left, and now you'll see the book load. You have a few options from here. You can turn the pages using the arrows and go page by page. You can look on the left and find the right chapter in the table of contents. So you can see Chapter 3 mentions our author by name. The other thing you can do is search for a keyword throughout the book. So you can look up a specific work or, again, an author's name. So if I put in Kofer and search, it shows me that the author's last name shows up 34 times in the book, and then it shows me what section of the book it appears in. So I can look in Chapter 3, and it'll then tell me what pages and how many times on each page the keyword appeared. All of my tools for the ebook database are up top, so I can download certain pages from the book or chapter. I can print out pages or chapters, and then this icon will give me an MLA citation for the book. These citations are computer generated, so it's important to have a good grasp of MLA before you just blindly copy and paste these citations. For example, in this citation, I can see that the title of the book is not in italics. So that's a situation where you would get points off if you just copied and pasted the citation. So make sure that you're double checking the citations that are given to you through the databases. That's the basics of the catalog. So from here, I'll show you how to use the databases. For literature, you can click Databases by Subject up above and go to the literature category. Most of these databases will be helpful to you. Database searching does not take a minute or two. You should expect to spend some time on this. So you may have to go database by database looking up different articles to find. The first database I would recommend is Artemis Literary Sources. So I'll click on that. Artemis is pretty easy to use, mostly because it's already got your categories chosen for you when you do a search. So you'll always include either something in name of work or the person by or about. That would be the author or any of the works you've been reading. So for this search again, I'll do Judith Ortiz Cofer, but I'm going to do it inverted. So I'll have Cofer, Judith Ortiz. And now, instead of a name of work, I want to look at the theme of identity among all of her works. So I'll just enter in identity here in the keyword field. All I have to do now is click search. And I have my results. You'll notice here the database gives you a few different things. You have literature criticism essays. That's really what you're looking for. But you'll also find topic and work overviews, and sometimes you'll even find a biography of the author. So from here, I can click to view the 4 literature criticism essays, read the summaries, and pick one. And now here's the article for me to look through. In this database, your tools are also above. You can print the article, download it, email it to yourself, or get citation help. Again, make sure that you've chosen MLA and double check the citation before you copy and paste it. Another database that's pretty similar to Artemis is Literary Reference Center Plus. It works the same way. You can put in the author's name and then either a name of work or a theme and get similar results. It doesn't have the exact same articles, but they'll be the same type of articles. There are also databases you can use outside of the literature category. Under General, we have Academic Search Complete, which is a great database to find thematic information. So again, you'll type in your author's name and either a theme or a title of work. So switching gears on your topics here, I'm going to look at Joyce Carol Oates, Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been? So my first keyword will be oats, just so I make sure I get the right thing. Then I'm going to put Where Are You Going? And I'm putting that in quotation marks so I can do a phrase search. The database will look at all the words you enter individually. So when we put it in quotation marks, we're telling the database find all of these words right next to each other. Once I have those 2 keywords filled in, I can click search. And see what I get. Just like the library catalog, I have all of these different features on the left that I can use to narrow down my results. I can change the publication date. I can change the type of resource it is, so I can look at an academic journal or magazines or newspapers, which are considered popular instead of scholarly. Once I find an article I'm interested in, I can click on the title. I have some short information up here that would help me write a citation. And so on the left, I'm going to pick the PDF full text option. and this will give me a scan of the original article. My options in this database are on the right side, so I can print, email, or get the MLA citation. I just have to scroll down to MLA, and then there's my citation. Again, double check it. If I go back to my results, I can also add in a third keyword of a theme. So one of your prompts asks you about music in Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? So I have oats, where are you going? And now I'll add music. This should help me narrow it down to any articles that might have music as a theme. So I got one result, but the problem here is that it's not a full text article. Anytime you see just this Find Text button, it means that we don't have the article in Academic Search Complete, but we may have it somewhere else. So I'm going to copy the title of the article, and then I can click the blue Find Text button. Now the databases will kind of cross-check each other to see if anyone else might have the article. So if I go back and look at my result, I can see that it's in Wall Street Journal Online. The second one down is that title, so I'll click the Find Text button again, and it takes me to a database that contains the Wall Street Journal. I'm going to search within the publication, so here's where I'm going to paste the article title that I have already copied, and click Search, and there's my article. So here's actually an interview with Joyce Carol Oates, where she talks about how Bob Dylan influenced the story and how he's related to it. So there's your link to music in Where Are You Going? Where Have You Been? So in the newspaper database, you have the article here, and your options are here on the right. Again, you can get citations, print the article, or email it to yourself. If ever you click this blue Find Text button and don't get an article, that means that we don't own the article in any database. One last database we can go to is out of the general category and into Biography. So if I go to Biography in Context, I can find more information about my authors. When we're researching topics like identity in writing, it's important to know about the authors, who they are, where they're from, and what their backgrounds are like in order to examine those themes. So in this database, I can search for either Judith Ortiz Cofer or Joyce Carol Oates. I will search for Joyce Carol Oates, and it should bring me to her topic page. So you can see it doesn't quite look like a traditional biography. This is really a landing page for all information Joyce Carol Oates. Here in the center, you have a general biography, but you've got all these other kinds of resources about her. There are academic journal articles, traditional biographies, reference books, audio and newspaper and images are usually from the news. Then you've also got magazines and related websites, so you can browse all these different categories. The other thing you can do is use this smaller search box down on the right. If we put any keywords in here, they will just search the Joyce Carol Oates page instead of all of the articles. So you can easily put in a title. So I will enter Where Are You Going? Again in quotation marks to do a phrase search. And that will now search all of the journal articles, biographies, newspaper, magazine articles on this page to find any that mention my story. So there are 5 academic journals I can look through. 15 biographies. Now, while it might seem silly to have 15 biographies, know that they may all have different information or a different approach. Some biographies will be very quick and just kind of give a list of works and some brief information. Other ones can be many pages long and they talk about the author and their life in the time that they wrote certain works, so that can be insightful as well. And then on the right you can see there are also newspaper and magazine articles. Just to show you some of the information you can find in this database, I'll go ahead and click on a random biography. And you'll see you have this long biography that you can look through. And here on the right, again, your options. You can print, download, email, or get the citation for the article. For additional information on doing research in the library related to this class, you can visit your very own class guide at libguides.valenciacollege.edu/McKinney2.